fun to do bad things, to drive into a car.
What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is finally the day where we're going to start on the manual swap. So this is going to be a 3-part series. The first part is going to be removing everything out of the way of the transmission, getting ready to pull the transmission. So that way, because I'm having a friend come help me pull the transmission, it's not the easiest thing to do by yourself, but I want to make sure I get it ready for him so I'm not making him do all the work. Yeah, so we're gonna get everything out of the way. So that means headers, exhaust, drive shaft, interior pieces, and then kind of put together like the clutch lines and stuff. So that way, the second part of the episode would be putting the clutch in, the flywheel, the transmission, line that up, bolting it up, and the last piece would be the drive shaft and buttoning everything up. So yeah, let's get into the install. So we're gonna go to the shop. Let's go. All right, so the car is in the shop. Let's lift it up and get it ready. The car is on the air and we've got to remove the exhaust. Hopefully it's not too hot right now. And this car looks super clean, so hopefully no bolts are super rusted, but honestly, you never know at this point. So we're gonna remove the entire exhaust first, and then make our way to exhaust manifold, and then last but not least, take off the interior. Oh yeah, and the drive shaft. All right, so first things first, let's take off the exhaust from the headers. So we're gonna disconnect it from right here. Try to remove the O2 sensor from right here. And if we can't, we're gonna remove the wire from inside the car, because usually the wire is directly under the seat. So yeah, it goes up into the cabin right here, which should be right under the carpet. So, but first let's focus on getting these bolts off, because these can be a pain in the ass. All right. Got these bolts off to the Y pipe. We're gonna take off this bracket right here that holds the exhaust manifold to the trans. Give a little more room to pull the manifold out. One, you're gonna save these because you're gonna reuse it on your old trans. Hopefully they line up. And yeah, now this is out. We can start disconnecting it from that side. It looks like there's about 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 hangers back there, but yeah, it's pretty much out. So now we're gonna focus on taking this one out first. Actually, probably focus on taking this out first. Having the right tool for the job makes life easier, so I have these exhaust hanger tool. And where is it? Oh, it's back there. So if I get a shot of how to take it off. This back is not high enough, but it's okay. Should be good enough. Take this off. Put it on here and you squeeze. Just like that. No lighting out here, but you can see these exhaust bolts in the rear are held on by these 17mm bolts. There's 3 of them, 1, 2, and then some are hidden back there. But yeah, I got that side down. Pull this side down and the whole exhaust is gonna slide right out. All right, so the way I'm going about pulling out the O2 sensor, you can see it's kind of dark, but there's this cable right here, right under the carpet right here. It connects to right here. You can unplug it. I need some light to see, but yeah, you can pull that, and you can pull the O2 sensor through with the exhaust. Mine is really stuck onto the exhaust, so I can't really get it out. So we're gonna leave the O2 on the exhaust and pull it through there. Pop this bad boy through. Now you can pull. Should be all the hangers. All right, exhaust is out of the way. Now we're gonna want to remove
all of the shielding right here for the drive shaft. All right, so now the drive shaft is exposed. We can take that out later. I'm not too worried about right now. We're just trying to get everything out of the way of the transmission. So next thing is the headers. Take off the headers. You need to remove the intake manifold. So you're gonna want to remove pretty much this air box. So let's unplug this, pull this out. Should do it by hand. That's out. That's out. You want to pull this vacuum hose right here, and then move this out of the way. Take out a bolt right here. Loosen from right here. I don't know so much that I kind of memorize everything. This should be able to pop off. We're barely connected. All right. Put this right here, and let's take it out. Airbox out. Next, you're gonna wanna unplug all the O2 sensors connected to the exhaust manifold. So, as you can see, you should have three. One right here, one connected to right here, and then one up there. So remove all three, make sure it's not snagged and clipped to anything like this. It's connected on the body. All right, so all of so there should be one. This one's free, and back here is free as well. Actually, one more clip. It's free. Right here, it's free. Now it should be all 14s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're gonna move the throttle body out of the way. It's super simple. It's a bunch of 12. So there's 12 here, 12 here, 12 right there, 2 more at the bottom right here, and then 12 here, 12 here, and then all the clips you can pull out. Glove slippery. This out. Throttle cable, you can go like this. Hold it out. Got the headers out. Now we're gonna work on the interior and get everything out of the way for the swap. So you need to remove the drive shaft. You do need to take off the 3 bolts that's connected to the transmission. It's hard to see, but not the one that's on the drive shaft, but the rubber piece. You need to take that out. You can see on this side, I did the same thing. I took the rubber, the one out of the 3 on the drive shaft, but it didn't come out, so I had to take out the ones out of the, I think it's called a guibo, and it popped right out. It just slid out of there. And this is the part that I was talking about that's connected to the transmission. It is a 14mm bolt. You just take this bolt out, it disconnects. All right, so last but not least, for today we're gonna take out the housing, the shifter, whatever. 2, 3, and 4. So pop that out. All right, all the bolts are out. Just disconnect everything that's attached to it because you're really not gonna use it anymore. So cable right there, cable right there. I think that is it. Yep, it was just that clip and that clip. Shifter is out. Now we are ready for the manual swap. So this is where we're gonna end the uninstall of everything. So there's a line right here. This line right here connects to here, goes underneath, comes out to these 2 holes. And those holes are pretty much the transmission cooler that connects to the radiator. So we need to unplug that and then unbolt everything else along the transmission so we get it out, and then we can unbolt the torque converter and then pull the trans out. So yeah, we're gonna get this part done, and my friend's gonna come here soon so we can help me pull the trans out because it does work better with a few extra people. So yeah, we're gonna start right now. All right, from the bottom of the car you can see 2 hoses connected to the transmission. I just cut one side because it makes life easier, and you can see I'm about to cut this one right here, just already cut, and then you can disconnect it from the car and pull it from those 2 lines right there, right there. I got the trans cooler lines disconnected So right now they're just kind of sitting right there. And yeah, there's nothing connected to the transmission anymore except the trans itself, and as well as the dipstick. So I gotta figure out how to take that out, and then we can unbolt the trans and take it out. So we're getting close. All right, so we're taking out the bell house or torque converter, right, Efren?
Yep.
Keep going, keep going. All right, stop. He's gonna hold it from the front. I'm gonna break it from right here. All right, I got Efren here helping me out with the install, or the uninstall actually. So we're just gonna now unbolt the transmission all around the trans tunnel. We broke loose the torque converter from the engine. Now we just gotta take all these bolts around and bolt it from the cross member, and then we can just yank it out. All right, so we're getting all the transmission bolts out. There's one right here. They're 14 to 17, so just gotta figure out which one's which. The hardest ones are the starter bolts, so gotta be creative and get long extensions and come through the backside. But yeah, we're getting close. We have 2 more bolts. All right, so we got all the bolts out around the tail housing. You have to drop it a little bit so you can get some long extensions that go all the way across the back. That's how we got it loose, but now we're disconnecting the harnesses from the trans so we can pop it out. There's that last one right there that needs to come off, and then we can pull the trans out. Okay, where should I hold it from?
And then I'm gonna push up and try to smooth his jack out.
Wait, hold on.
You get in position first.
I'm trying to figure out what the best position is.
Probably like that.
Is it?
Yeah. But when you push up. Alright. Ready?
Yeah. So coming.
Hold on, alright?
Yeah. The converter.
It's coming out or no?
Yeah, coming out. It's in the trans tunnel. Yeah. Fucking the big round thingy.
The torque converter?
Yeah.
Can you push it in?
Let's see. Okay, so what do we do?
Is it attached to the flex plate?
No. It's coming out with it slowly, but I think it's kind of stuck. Oh shit!
Got it?
It's on my hand.
Keep your hand up. You okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna take out the vent.
The vent.
The vent line right here.
Oh, fuck that vent.
Oh.
Oh. All right, so it's a new day, and there's a bunch of things that we need to prep before we finally swap in that trans to that one, which we'll be doing tomorrow. First things first, we got to figure out if this mount will work. So the original mount from the W58 is an old Celica, which has the old style mount and has these, you know, kind of weird thing in the middle. This is from an SC300. We're gonna see if it works. So this is the OEM mount, which supposedly should work, and this should line up. So this is the front of the car, is the back of the car, what does it say? I don't know. It's 2 arrows. So that fits, which is good. And basically the same way I did with my W58 and my IS300, I can only use 1 bolt, so which should work. I mean, it works on my IS, so at least we know this works. This is a used one. Shout out to homie Dylan for giving this to me for free. I have one coming on Monday, so we'll have a new fresh bushing, but that works. So that's confirmed. That's out of the way. Next is changing the seal right here, because there's always leak and it's out of the car, so it's easy to replace right now. All right, I got this cover popped off. You can just get like a flathead and just pry it off. Try not to scratch the outer ring. Pretty stuck. All right, I got this one popped out. I'm gonna pop the new one in. All right, so this is the new seal. We clean off the inside surface area, and we're just gonna try to hammer it in. Make sure you put it in perfectly straight so it doesn't leak. Brand new seal is in. That's done. Pop this bad boy back in. Just slides in and just hit it in. We got everything kind of in place. That's how it's gonna look. That's how my i300 looks, and it's been holding up. But yeah, now I got this kind of slightly mocked up. It's a little bit loose, but just because the internet said you might need to flip the the trans, so I left it loose just in case, to make sure it lines up under the car. But last thing we got to do now is hook up the reservoir, the clutch reservoir, and then run the line from inside the clutch all the way to under the car, which should be easy. There's an access under there. Just got to move everything out the way. All right, so this is kind of the last part of the swap that I've been putting aside for so long, is mounting the reservoir right here. So I got this L bracket and this reservoir that came from Heat Lining Speed. It's gonna be bolted onto it, and then it's gonna hook onto right there. So right now I'm gonna drill a hole and bolt it through. All right, I got the bolt right here, and I gotta find some bolts for this so I can screw it into here. And yeah, it's just enough room to go in here. The plugs, I don't know, I gotta figure that out, how that's gonna plug, but it's there. So we're gonna go to the hardware store later, probably the last thing I do since I don't wanna go out and come back. Next is to route this wire from the clutch through the floor and onto the transmission, or the transmission that will be there. I just want it to have it routed so I don't have to do it in the middle of the swap. All right, to route the clutch line, we're gonna wanna remove this thing right here because you need to access the clutch reservoir. Take out the trim, which should be just a couple clips. Put this up, goes out, and then you're going to pull the carpet back. But before we do that, let's take out these right here. Should be two bolts right here, one right here, one right here. Pop this out. If you guys installed the clutch already, which I have a video on that, you'll know how to take this apart. But there's a line that we need to access back there, so let's take it out. So I have the 90-degree fitting fitted right there. Oh man, lighting's super bad. Hopefully you can see that right there. That is how it's connected. Right there. Lighting sucks, but it's connected. Now we have to run the rest of this line down under the car. There's a hole somewhere in here that I'm going to run it to. I saw a video where another guy online ran it through the firewall and it wasn't long enough, so they had to go through here. I don't want to run through the firewall and run it down because this does not look long enough. Honestly, it doesn't. So we're gonna just go through this way. All right, it's a little bit dark, but there's this plug right here. I'm gonna try to pull out with some pliers. All right, coming out from outside the car, you'll see the hole right there. I popped it out. And what we're gonna do is cut a little hole so we can slide the clutch line through so no water gets into the cabin. All right, got a hole. Now we're just gonna put it through. Not the best lighting, but it's dark in here. Now you can run the cables through and no water is gonna get into the cabin. All right, everything is kind of wired up together now. And you can see the clutch line coming right here, and it can go to the slave that will be right here. All right, all the little stuff is done. So basically we mounted the clutch reservoir, we routed the line from the clutch slave, the master slave, all the way to the under the car. And then we also test fitted a couple small things like the clutch fork. I had to buy a new ball where the clutch fork mounts onto. Test fitted the transmission bushing and the mount, and it looks like everything's ready to go for tomorrow. So yeah, we're gonna pick up the rest of the video tomorrow where we're gonna mount the clutch, flywheel, put the trans in, and that'll be the end of part 2 installs. All right, I got the reservoir mounted pretty securely. It's not going anywhere, just one bolt right here, and there's 2 bolts connecting the mount to the L bracket. Pretty good. All right, now we gotta start installing the clutch kit. And first things first, you gotta take out this plate right here that came from the automatic transmission. This is gonna be replaced with the flywheel. That's one. So let's take it all out. It is a little heavy, so be careful. All right, take this out. And that's out. And now you can see this is where the rear main sail is that we got to replace. Looks like it was leaking. Let's see. Yeah, look how leaky that shit was. So we're gonna replace the rear main seal, put the new clutch kit in and we're good. All right, so we're gonna have to wait to put the clutch in, but for now we're gonna mount the trans up so I can measure the drive shaft from the trans to the diff. And there's a little bit delayed because I don't have the extended shifter right here. So we're gonna wait to put that in, but we're gonna put the trans in, measure it, and take it back out. And the last step will be putting the shifter back in and putting the trans back in on the next video. So let's throw this in.
Can you just kind of give an idea?
Yeah.
See it?
Yeah, kinda. There you go. Push. There we go, then. There we go.
Okay, so we're just gonna put in
The bolt.
just like put 2 of them in.
We got the trans mocked up right now, so all I gotta do is measure from the housing right there, from the input shaft or output shaft to the diff. And we're also gonna measure where I need to cut, because I'm gonna cut the trans tunnel. And we're gonna pull this trans out so that way I can measure, or we can redo the shifter. We're gonna measure where to cut underneath. I actually measure from the top, but I just wanna make sure I got it right so you can see the shifters right here. So if we get it from outside,
Right here,
and then right here. That looks like should be good. All right, so this is where I'm gonna cut. It's gonna be enough room in between the e-brake, but yeah, now we're measuring the drive shaft, which the rough estimate should be around 58 inches. Can't believe that's been like 4 years now, dude.
I know, almost, dude. It's insane.
Oh, that hurt my ear. Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Pull it out.
Oh, shit. Okay. Good.
You good?
Yeah. Go. Woo! All right.
Yeah.
We're good.
Good shit, Corn.
All right, so as you can see, the shifter needed to be extended. Or to extend it, you also need to extend the shifter rod that sits inside here. So let me open it up. You see this rod right here, it also had to be extended. And yeah, to match the length of this, you can see mine was lengthened by 3 inches, so it's 3 inches longer. And it sits the shifter perfectly in a good position for me to shift. But now this bushing is all messed up, so we gotta replace this, and which is why I got this little saw to cut into this bushing, and I'll show you the bushing that I got after I cut it out. You can kind of see I cut into it a little bit blurry, so now I'm gonna get a hammer and a chisel and try to bend it out. And here we are, I got it out. Oh, a little bit of scratching on there, but I think it should be okay. Now let's clean it up. I got this cube shifter bushing that presses in just like this, and it comes with tools to press it in. So one goes at the bottom, one goes at the top, and you can just put a bolt through and press it in. So let me set it up and show you guys. All right, so this is the press that they have set up. They give you everything. When you buy the kit, it comes with the press to press it in, and comes with the bushing. So we get an Allen key and tighten it down. So now we have a shifter that, a bushing, solid bushing, where this can fit in, and it should be a lot more crisp. But now the transmission is pretty much good to go in, but now we have to reseal the transmission because we opened it and to take out the rod, so now we have to actually seal it. So we're gonna take it apart, put some gasket on, and close it back up. All right, I just put some orange Toyota sealant on the transmission, so we're gonna like tighten it down, but not tighten it down because you have to let it sit for an hour. So we're just gonna like hand tighten it, and then in an hour we'll torque it down. I believe I saw online these go to 27 foot-pounds, so let's tighten it down. All right, so while I wait for the tail housing to dry, or the gasket to dry, we're gonna cut a hole in the trans tunnel. So I kind of marked where I need to cut. Hopefully this Sawzall is good enough. If not, we're gonna need to get an angle grinder, but should be pretty simple. Just straight cuts that way, bend it down. I'll cut it from the bottom or the top. So let's get to cutting. Honestly, this is cutting through like butter. It's a good tool. On Amazon yesterday. So, cut a huge hole in the trans tunnel. Hopefully it lines up. But yeah, so far so good. I might clean up the edges with the file and a sander or something, but that's ready to go. And shifter should fit right in the middle. All right, so that's pretty much it for today. I want to show you guys my shifter. So this is from Celica, and it came with my transmission, but it came with all this stuff. And so what I think I'm going to do is, see how there's 4 holes? I'm probably going to riv nut into the trans tunnel, so that way I can bolt up these I don't know, these heat shield, dust boot, whatever you want to call it. And you can see how it fits perfectly in here. So the shifter's going to sit somewhere right here. I probably cut too much. I probably did, but oh well. So shifter's going to sit like right here. Something like this. And I thought it was just cool to see right here. I think it's the other way around actually. Just a little sneak peek about how it's gonna look. Might need to cut the shifter. I'm gonna try to get the sway a little bit like that, so that way it comes in. But damn, that looks good. It's dark right now. It's getting a little bit late. It's only like 5 o'clock, but yeah, man, that looks good. All right, so I got this light, and I've been doing my manual swap, and I've been working in the dark trying to get this clutch and transmission in, and look at that. I don't gotta touch it either. And I can literally see all the dust and dirt on my flywheel, which I need to clean to put this transmission in. And I got both hands. Don't gotta touch my light. If I need to turn it off, just quick swipe. On, off, on, off. This is a pretty sick light from Philadelphia. This light is so bright. I can see everything under here. Game changer. Honestly, this has been super helpful with my manual swap. I've been working in the dark for the past many days, and this light is a game changer. Just look at that. Just look how bright that is. All right, so we're cleaning the flywheel. So we're gonna put the clutch and the pressure plate in, but make sure you clean your flywheel and the surface, all the grease off it. Put the clutch alignment tool, stick your clutch in the hole, and then you put the pressure plate over it. All right, I have the pressure plate over it. Now we're gonna put the bolts all around it, torque it down. Let me know when you're ready. Jackson's over here. Ooh. Oh, almost cramped.
Why'd you go to the gym today, man?
I don't know. I'm gonna push.
We gotta come in a little bit more.
Come in.
Oh, that's fucking
Come in.
Turn it in. Push. Alright, car. Turn it to, push it to the driver's side of the car. Wiggle it up and down. Push. Keep pushing. There you go.
It's in.
It's in.
We got it in. Holes look like they line up. All right, we got everything kind of mounted in. You can see how I mounted the trans mount for now. I'm gonna have to buy an excessive trans mount because this is not the best, but it lines up with the holes, you can see. So we're gonna put in the bell housing bolts and then put this in, and then start assembling the shifter and putting things back. All right, so I got this short shifter from eBay, and it has a slight bend to it, but I just mocked it up in there and it fits perfect, like perfectly centered where I want it. And this shifter feels good. This feels real good. We're gonna try it out. So before we put the shifter in, we're gonna fill it up with fluid. And before we do that, we gotta go in the car and loosen out the fill bolt. So that way we know how much fluid's going in there. And yeah, that's really the first step. And then after that, we're gonna put the car back together, the intake and the battery, and jump the cable. All right, so one of the big things you need to do is you need to jump the neutral safety switch. And you can see this is the plug right here. I'll put a wiring diagram in, and you need to jump those two black ones right here. So this one and this one. So I'll open it up and show you guys. All right, you see earlier I had no lights. These lights, man, they game changer. Thank you, Adelphi. So you can see the wires right here. You can definitely see the colors now. The two big ones sticking out right here and right here, they're both black. You need to jump them together. So we're gonna cut some more, cut the wires, and then loop them together. All right, I have the wires jumped right there. You can kind of see it. I'm gonna tape it off later or solder it. But yeah, for now I'm just gonna test if the car starts. Everything's pretty much together, so the car should start. I'm gonna do once to look around, and we're gonna start the car to see if the car starts. We have no drive shaft yet, but the transmission is in, so the car should turn. Yeah, I'm just gonna give it a quick check. I got the car started, but I'm not gonna show you guys. So it works. Jumping that cable works. So next thing I'm gonna do is fill up the trans fluid with some gear oil, and then put the shifter in and wait for the drive shaft, because literally the only thing I'm waiting for, man. The shifter it's in. Goes to all the gears. Fifth, reverse. Feels good, nice and crisp. All right, I got the dry shaft from Drift Motion, and we're gonna go ahead and get it set up. Why not mount it today? Because I'm actually going to Tahoe in a few hours, so we're actually just gonna make sure it lines up. So we're putting the adapter plate on, which bolts to the diff right here. And then we're gonna put slide the drive shaft in and see if it fits. It better fit. Pay a lot of money for it. All right, so the last thing we need to do, we need to bleed the clutch. I actually stripped my clutch line, so I bought a new one. Sent me back a couple days, but we're back in business. So we're gonna replace that line real quick. All right, so basically you need to run the line from the master slave from right there all the way to the master reservoir right there, and we're gonna fill up the reservoir right now. So basically you're gonna press the clutch and you're gonna see bubbles come out, and you're gonna keep doing it until the bubbles stop coming out.
A good amount.
All right, so there's no more air bubbles coming out. So what you're gonna do is bring it through the car, bring it through the hole right there, plug it back into your slave. So it looks like I'm driving the car now. Second gear, was able to shift. Definitely need to bleed the clutch some more, but that's for another problem, another day. But yeah, this shit's moving. Dang, it's moving. All right, the car is pretty much back together. Drove around the block and it's good, it runs. Last thing left to do is kind of just tidy up everything, but yeah, the car runs and drives. Feels good. And yeah, the only thing I really want to do is bleed the clutch, because yeah, that's the only thing pain in the ass about this process is bleeding the clutch, but everything else is pretty seamless. So car runs and drives. All right, so the car is officially manual swap. I did go for its first test drive, and it runs, it works, it can drive. There's a lot of things I need to button up. So yeah, but this is the end of the series, pretty much how to manual swap your car. And I had a lot of fun, a lot of challenges, a lot of things that didn't expect. So if you guys enjoyed this video, this series, make sure you give it a thumbs up, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.